Hey guys, so this is a part that was cut from my Bengal Famine and Winston Churchill video that I've just uploaded to my main channel. It's about the process of creating that video and the sources that I used. And it's not going to make any sense at all unless you watch that video first, so I suggest that you do that. So yeah, here goes. I'd like to acknowledge some limitations in my work here. This is not at all a comprehensive account of the Bengal Famine. Its scope is pretty much limited to Winston Churchill's involvement in it, and even with this limitation it's still incredibly long. And that's after I cut 2,000 more words from the final script. For example, Churchill actually had a plan for India after the war which consisted of him basically purging all Indian politicians and replacing them with imperially appointed officials, in order to ensure continued imperial rule. I guess I might make like a short video on that in the near future because I couldn't fit it in here. I also very much regret that I was unable to give the victims themselves some more consideration and tell more of their story, because that's something that is skipped over far too much, a disregard that I'm unfortunately contributing to here. I would also have liked to assess the response to the famine by other actors too, like the Indian government, the elected provincial governments, and Indian political organizations like the Muslim League and the Indian National Congress. Unfortunately, I think that's simply too much for this format. It would be like a 10-hour video, and yeah, sorry I'm not making that. And regardless, much better works already exist that do the same thing. For example, you might have noticed that a lot of this book draws on the book Hungry Bengal by Jana Mukherjee. If you're looking for a more all-encompassing book on the Bengal famine, that is absolutely what you should read. I disagree with one part of it, that is the notion that the only real cause of the famine was simply man-made, but it still provides an excellent and broad assessment that considers all parties. For anyone interested in the topic, it's really a must-read. I also drew a lot on the book Churchill's Secret War by Madhusri Mukherjee. Like the video, she focuses more narrowly on Churchill's role in the famine. She writes in a very calm, matter-of-fact sort of tone, while presenting overwhelming evidence of just how Churchill responded to the famine and just why he did so. I'd also like to acknowledge the more limited work of Mark B. Torger, who made a compelling argument for the reassessment of the role that environmental factors played in the initial scarcity of the famine. Though as others before me have stated more extensively, he far overstated the quality of the data on which he made his case. And his other argument, that the British basically bore zero responsibility for the deaths of the famine, was much less compelling, as I think I demonstrated in this video. Nonetheless, he is at a disadvantage compared to the other two writers on the subject, as they've both written full books while he's only written some shorter journal articles. I'd definitely be interested in reading a longer work from him, though I think he has a whole lot of contrary evidence to contend with, and I don't know, I don't really think that his thesis is going to be tenable in a long-form work that acknowledges the work from these other two books. Unless, as I mentioned at the beginning of this video with the biographers, he just kind of ignores it. So yeah, that's Winston Churchill's involvement in the Bengal famine. This was a very rough video to make. It took hundreds of hours of work. I've been recording about 5 or 6 hours a day for 2 days now. My voice is about to give out. I read two full books and dozens of journal articles, most of which didn't even make it into the final cut. And the script was about 10,000 words long, so yeah. All of this on an extremely depressing subject, so it wasn't much fun. YouTube has a lot of videos on Churchill that ignore all of this context to whitewash his role in the famine, while hilariously claiming to actually be adding context to it. The topic has for a long time deserved a proper video, and I hope that I've been able to do it at least a little bit of justice. So yeah, thank you for watching. Oh yeah, I should say that with more enthusiasm. Sorry, the topic is pretty deflating. Thank you for watching.